Well, greetings, Messiah. It's Pastor Mark here. I just had a kind of thought, wanted to share with you guys. Maybe this could be some encouragement to you. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Have you heard that before? I think of that most mornings when I wake up. It gives me fond memories back to my vicarage and my internship. And every worship service, my supervising pastor would start the service with that responsive reading. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And I think oftentimes we think that means everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be happy. Everything's going to be joy-filled. It's going to be a great day. So this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I think some people are kind of wondering, as it kind of gets a little tiring with the quarantine, how can I rejoice and be glad in this? But if you actually look at the psalm, it comes from Psalm 118. It actually talks about kind of the bad days, the tough times. Right? Reading from a few excerpts of the psalm here. This is Psalm 118, verses 10 through 13. It talks about pain. All the nations surround me. In the name of the Lord, I cut them off. They surrounded me on every side. In the name of the Lord, I cut them off. They surrounded me like bees. They went out like fire among thorns. In the name of the Lord, I cut them off. I was pushed hard so that I was falling, but the Lord helped me. It talks about going through tough times. And you might be kind of going through that. You might be kind of feeling like, where is God in all of this? You know, you might have young kids at home like I do, and they might just be driving you nuts. And you're like, this is the day that the Lord has made. How am I going to get through it? Maybe for you, you're sitting there. Maybe you're lonely. Your whole routine has been thrown out. And you're like, this is the day that the Lord has made. How am I going to get through it? Or maybe for you, you're just watching the cable news 24/7 and it's just bad news after bad news after bad news. And you think to yourself, this is the day that the Lord has made. Oh no, right? How am I going to get through it? But here the psalmist sees that God is doing something bigger. Even in those times when we feel weak, even in those times when we don't feel like we have it together, he continues here in Psalm 118, beginning with verse 19. Open to me the gates of righteousness, that I may enter through them and give thanks to the Lord. This is the gate of the Lord, the righteous shall enter through it. I thank you that you have answered me and have become my salvation. The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. That's key there. This is the Lord's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The stone that the builders have rejected has become the cornerstone. This Lenten season, that points directly to Jesus. God in the flesh, who leaves all of the righteousness and the glories of the heavens and comes down to be rejected and put on a cross for you. So that even in our worst days, we can have the promise that he's the cornerstone. That as he rises, he's going to make everything right. And so whether we're having a good day or a tough day, whether we're frustrated with our kids or just bored out of our minds, we know that God is there, that God understands, that God's going to get us through. And that's why we say, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So I hope that today you will see that and you will see Jesus working in your midst. You will see Jesus loving you and forgiving you, and give yourself some grace. Give your kids some grace. Give your neighbors and your families and your boss some grace, because that's what God does for you. The stone that the builders have rejected has become the cornerstone. Jesus will build you up. Jesus will get you through. So whatever today brings, rejoice and be glad in it, for this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.